Hey, Galley, friends and family, it's Joan. Thanks for joining me for another edition of the Friday Prayer Focus. And some people will believe anything, and I'm one of them. I remember one time when I was little and I was sick, and I was sort of sequestered off from everybody else. They were all out there having lunch, and I was in bed, and Mom was in there with me, and I said, "Well, why can't I go out and be with them?" And she said, "Well, because you're sick and you might get them sick." And I said, "Well, what about you?" And she said, "Moms don't get sick." And I thought, wow, that's really cool. I want to be a mom because they never get sick. And then there was another time. I was probably around 3.5, 4 years old this time. We're big family, and so we would get gifts that would go together, and then we could all play together. So Mom got some of us me and a brother who's less than a year older than me, and then a sister right after before him. So three of us each got a different piece of a play kitchen set. I was thrilled with it. My brother wasn't too happy, but I got the refrigerator freezer, and in it was this tiny little ice cube tray. And I said to my mom, "Wow, I wonder if this makes real ice cubes." And she said, "Oh, well, how about before you go to bed, you put water in it and put it in there and see?" And I was like, "Yeah, okay." So I did. And I got up the next morning and I checked it, and guess what? There was ice in the ice cube tray. I couldn't believe it. I was like, yay, it's really happening. This is real. I showed all my brothers and sisters. My husband just walked in. That's okay. And they were like, "Wow, that's really cool." And, you know, it was about 15 years later before I realized, "Hey, Mom," I asked her about that, and she went, "Yeah, we were like reeling you in." And of course, I know what's real now because I've lived life. I've lived life as a mom. Moms get sick, by the way, in case anybody doesn't realize that. And I've also, I've studied and I just know a lot more now about stuff. So when it comes to important life lessons, you just can't believe anything people say because people say all kinds of stuff, especially about Jesus and the afterlife, what's going to happen to the world, what's going on in the world today. So you need to look it up for yourself. And I found that was really helpful for me. So, sorry. Our Friday prayer focus this week is to pray that people would not take someone else's word for it. That they would not just believe anything. They would look it up in the good book. So that's our focus today, and I hope that you will stop after this video and pray that for our Galilee friends and family. And there's some really cool, fun summer things happening still. It's the end of summer, but wow, we got a lot going on. So check the bulletin, check Facebook, and maybe I'll see you at some of those things, okay? Thank you so much for joining me. I love you guys. See you next time I see you.